guys, welcome back to my channel Think More. I'm Shivarika and I'm a student of Masters in Journalism and Mass Comm. So you guys might be thinking why I was listening to a song, a very energetic song. हम जानेंगे हम से जानेंगे. So there is a well intention behind it. So to know my intentions, why I was thinking and why I was listening to the song, you have to come with me to think more. In today's class, we are going to know a lesson on media laws and ethics. That is, right to information, which is also known as RTI. In this chapter, we are all going to know all the things about right to information, the section of right to information, the institutional framework of right to information, how it runs, and the restriction imposed by the RTI. So let us know about RTI, from where it has arrived. Let us know the historical background. The story of RTI starts during the time period of 1948 when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted, said that everyone has the right to seek, receive information and ideas through any media regardless of frontiers. Then comes on 1966, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights stated that everyone shall have the right to freedom of expression, the freedom to seek and impart information and ideas of all kind. If you want to have a freedom of expression, the freedom of expression only, proper expression only implies only when you have proper information. So without information you cannot express or you cannot speak on any topic or you cannot keep any kind of opinion. Only when the story is known, story means the information is known to you, only at that time you can well express your thing. Then it is said by a very famous personality, the third president of US, said by Thomas Jefferson, said like information is the currency of democracy. So what is information? It is a currency of democracy and critical to the emergency and development of a vibrant society. So to become a strong society and to manage any kind of emergency and to run a democracy, information is a very crucial ingredient without which you cannot live or run a democracy properly. So from there, our Indian Parliament enacted the Right to Information Act 2005. But how in India, how the right to information arrived? Let's get to know. First, the origin of RTI in India started during 1986 through the judgment of Supreme Court in Mr. Kulwar versus Jaipur Municipal Corporation. In that, the judge said that under Article 19 of the Constitution clearly implies right to information, as without information the freedom of speech and expression cannot be fully used by the citizen, which I said earlier also. Then comes a story of the demand of right to information started with Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan movement in Rajasthan. In this movement, the villagers wanted to bring a transparency in village accounts in rural India. They wanted the right to information, the information available in the official records in the government file. So for that, they started a movement in Rajasthan by the Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan. Then what is the story? A draft of RTI was imposed in 1933 by CERC Ahmedabad. Then what happened? The formal recognition of a legal right to information in India occurred. That too decided before legislation was finally enacted when the Supreme Court of India stated in State of UP versus Rajnarayan that the right to information is implicit in the right to freedom. Implicit means it is hidden, or like indirectly it is spoken in the right to freedom of expression and speech. The right to information is guaranteed, but indirectly, in Article 19 as well as in Article 21, which states the right to life. It in right to life article, which is stated by Article 21, the freedom of information, the right to, not freedom, the right to information is also hidden in that article also. In 2004, when the UPA government, means the Congress government was there, during the times of Manmohan Singh, the Right to Information Act was promised to be given by them. So RTI was finally held, was finally published and executed on 2005. RTI was passed in Lok Sabha on 11th May 2005. Then RTI was passed in Rajya Sabha on 12th May 2005. The President gave the concern on 15th June 2005. After 120 days, RTI was applicable, that is from 12th of October 2005. So, what are the objectives of RTI? Let us come know about it. So, RTI Act 2005's objectives are to empower the citizen for a transparent and accountability, for the transparency and accountability in the country, for empowering the citizen of the country, to remove the corruption from the country, and to enhance public's participation in democratic process. If the information is given, if you are informed about any particular thing, then there will be a transparency, there will be an accountability, there will be less corruption, and people will be going against corruption, and then people will take more participation in democratic process. If people are going to know something is going behind them or something is going against them, then they will definitely raise their voice. So right to information is a very, very important act in our constitution. So let us know what are the sections of RTI. So in section 2F of RTI Act, it defines information as material in any form including records, documents, memos, emails, options, opinions, advices, press release, circular, logbooks, orders, samples, models, data material held in any electronic form, and information related to any private body which can be assessed by a public authority under any other law for a time being in a force, right? So information is anything, whether it is electronic or it is in paper or it is stored in disk, anything which is related to public authority under other laws for a time being is in force. So what is right to information? Says in section 2I, what is record? Record includes any document, manuscript and film, any microfilm, microfilms, or any copies of document, any reproduction of image or image like films, images, photographs, pictures, produce any material produced by a computer or any other device. So these are the records. Under the right to information, section 2I describes how you can access the right to information, how you can access the information. So under this act, which is held by or under the control of any public authority and includes the right to, they include in that right to information, it is also included that you can inspect a work, document or record, like the record, as I have said, photo, images. Documents means any written opinion, author, like press release, anything. You can inspect the work, you can take down notes, extracts or certified copies of document or record. You taking certified samples of material, you can take certificate samples of material. Even you can obtain information in the form of discs, floppies, tapes, video cassettes, or in any electronic mode you want. You can take the information which is stored in the computer or any device also. So there are few costs for which you can take those information, whether like if you need a paper, or like if you need a copy of something and it is in a paper, you need ₹2 for it. By giving ₹2 you can get that. If you need a floppy disk, the information in floppy disk, you need to pay the fees of ₹50. If you need CD, then you need to give the fees of 100, and so on. It is given in the image. Then comes the right to information. In definition of right to information in section 2H, it is said that public authority means any authority or body or institution of self-government established or constituted by or under the constitution, by any other law made by parliament, by any other law made by state legislature, by notification issued or ordered made by the appropriate government, and includes any body owned, controlled or substantial financed non-government organization substantially financed directly or indirectly by fund provided by the appropriate government. So any governmental body, self-governed body which is under the Constitution Act is known as public authority, from whom you can take the information. So let's know about that. Was section 2. Now let's come to section 3 of RTI. So in section 3, RTI says to whom this RTI is for. So RTI is for all the citizens of India shall have the right to information. So for whom this right to information is made for all the citizens of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir also have right to information, but it is stated in other act. Like for their personal matter, for that state it has been assigned previously, but RTI is for all the citizens of India except Jammu and Kashmir, because Jammu and Kashmir have their personal RTI act. So it is written how you can apply an application. You can write an application in a plain sheet or a page, whether in English or Hindi or any official language of the state of the area in which the application is being made. But the application will be made to whom? Like you need to take an information, right? So for taking an information, to whom you have to write to, means you have to write. किसके लिए आपको लिखना, किसको आपको लिखना है जिससे आपको आपका information मिल सके. The central public, so you have to write to the CPIO, like the Central Public Information Officer, or if it is related to state, then State Public Information Officer. Or you can write to the Central Assistant Public Information Officer or State Assistant Public Information Officer. What is the time limit of an application? Normally within 30 days of the date of the application you will get the information, and you shall add 5 days if it is given to Assistant Public Information Officer. So within 35 days you are able to get the information. But under life and liberty, like if the information is regarding life and liberty, then the time limit of the public information officer, like the public relation information officer, has to give the information within 48 hours if the information is regarding life and liberty. So what will happen if they do not provide within the time limit. If the 30 days, if the record is not replied within 30 days, the penalty will be 250 per day on officer. Like as the day after 30 days will increase, like 35 days if that is for assistant, but normally for 30 days, after that if they do not give you what I say, information, then rupees 250 will be a penalty. Like each day will grow on, for each per day there will be 200 rupees, 250. There is an interesting fact how this RTI is running. That is, do you know there is a penalty of maximum of rupees 25,000 for false information. If the officers provide you, public information officer provide you false information, then they have to give a penalty for rupees 25,000. A penalty can also be imposed for providing incomplete or for rejecting your application for lame reason. Their fine will be deducted from officer's personal salary. Right? There comes the institutional framework. So what is institutional framework? For a long time I am saying you about lot of name like public information officer, assistant public information officer. So how this right to information is working, like how this works. So inside this framework, the authorities which are been working, those are public authority, public information officer, assistant public information officer for state as well as for central, other officers, designated appealated officer, information commission. Yes, information commission is a very big term which we'll be going to know in the next slide. Then comes the ministries and departments, appropriate government, competent authority. So let's know about, we already know that who is public information officer, whether of state or central, like to whom we first write the application to for any kind of information. So what is Central Information Commission for? Central Information Commission is constituted under section 12. So under section 12, Central Information Commission is constituted, or State Information Commission is constituted under section 15 of the Act RTI. So what is Central Information Commission? Central Information Commission or State Information Commission shall receive and inquire into complaints from any person related to the, if suppose we have informed to PIO, Public Information Officer, and if the or assistant public information officer, if they do not reply you the information, then you can complain further to CIC, that is Central Information Officer Commission, or SIC, State Information Commission. They shall receive and inquire into complaints from any person related to access to the information. Like if you are not able to access the information, then they help this particular body will help you to access information, and may require public authority to compensate if the public authority is not giving you the information properly. Then they assign the punishment, like they assigned this Central Information Commission or State Information Commission assign complaints, impose penalty on them, and not only this, they shall with and dispose appeal against the decision of the designated appealing officer. Even they also take action against. Now let us see how Central Information Commission is made up of. So Central Information, this committee is the body is made up of 10 maximum member, including Chief Information Commissioner CIC and other Central Information Commissioners. How it is appointed? It is appointed by the President, and the recommendations of those people are done by Prime Minister, leaders of opposition, a Union Cabinet Minister nominated by PM. Number 3, who removes this member. So the removement of the member is done by the president. Ground, what is the removal ground, like on which they are removed? If proved misbehavior, incapacity, like if they are doing any kind of misbehavior regarding any kind of information, then they are being removed. How? What is the procedure? Same manner as UPSC chairman or members are removed. So this was all about Central Information Commissioner. Now we have come to the end of this chapter, which is known as the restriction imposed by the Act. So what are the restrictions which are imposed by the Act? So under section 8(1) of the Act deals with exemptions from disclosure of information. Like in this section we will be able to know under which circumstances you cannot disclose any information. Like under the circumstance, what the circumstance should be? Number 1, if the situation, like if the information which is which can affect the sovereignty or the integrity of India, or the security or strategy or scientific or economical interest, then those kind of information disclosure cannot be disclosed. Those kind of information cannot be disclosed if it affects the sovereignty or integrity or the security of India. Next is, the information is forbidden to be punished by any court, like if the if any kind of publish by any court of law or tribune, or the disclosure of which may constitute contempt of court. If any kind of information which can constitute contempt of court, those kind of information cannot be disclosed. Information disclosure of which could cause a breach of privilege of parliament. If any kind of information which can harm the privilege of parliament or the state legislature, then those kind of information cannot be given to you. Then comes information including commercial confidence, trade secrets or intellectual property. Those kind of information if you need, then those kind of information cannot be disclosed, which can harm the competitive position of a third party. Okay, unless the competent authority, only there is a chance that they can disclose only if the authority is satisfied that large public interest wants the disclosure of such information. If a large public wants that disclosure of such information, only then there is a possibility that those kind of commercial confidence or trade secrets can be, or intellectual property can be revealed. Those kind of information can be revealed. Information regarding to a person in his fiduciary relationship, unless the competent authority is satisfied that the large public interest wants the disclosure to be made. If any person's personal relationship is needed to be, if you want to know about that information, then those kind of information cannot be disclosed. Only if a large amount of public interest is behind that information, then only you can have the then only you can have the information. Information received in the confidence from foreign government. If you have if your country has received any kind of secret from the foreign government, if you want to know about the secret what foreign government has said to your country, like to India, then you cannot, those kind of information cannot be disclosed. Information disclosure of which would danger the life or physical safety of any person, or the identity, the source of information or assistance given the confidence of law enforcement or security imposed. If any information related to any kind of security purpose, those kind of disclosure of information cannot be given to you. Next is information which could impede the process of investigation. Like if you want to know about any kind of information related to any kind of investigation which is going on or under prosecution of offenders, then that like if you want to know about the investigation, like when any kind of investigation is going on and in between, or you want to know about that information, you that those kind of information cannot be disclosed, as the investigation will not be successful for what outcome they were doing. Then information related to cabinet papers cannot be disclosed to you. So after knowing what was RTI, what are the section, how it works, let us see a case study. A case of Central Information Commissioner. Central Information Commissioner had given the verdict on this particular case. The case was named under N.N. Dumani versus Public Information Officer, Department of Post, 2018. So what was the case all about? Pension payment. Like a woman's pension was not being like a person's payment was not being paid because they had said the Department of Post had said that they want the Aadhaar card before giving the pension. So CIC said had given a remarkable consent on it, that it condemns the act of Department of Post in denying payment of pension for want of Aadhaar card. Like only for the Aadhaar card you didn't pay the pension. This is a wrong way. So the CIC said that pension is under the, as I have said, life and liberty, right? The payment of pension is a matter of life and liberty under the RTI Act. An application related to payment of pension shall be disposed by the Public Information Officer within 48 hours. So the Public Information Officer had not given the pension. So it is a misbehavior done by the PIO, which is said by Central Information Commissioner, because the pension is under life and liberty. So the statement was given by CIC. Under this right, the woman got the verdict and she got the pension as well as the compensation. So this was all related to RTI. If you want to know more, or if you have any kind of queries, you can email me in thinkmore.jmc1@gmail.com. Till the time, thank you and have a nice day.